is Nick. I'm usually known as Tall Guy for OpenStreetMap, where I do a lot of mapping for OpenStreetMap, and in particular for the humanitarian OpenStreetMap team, otherwise known as HOT. And this evening I'm doing some mapping with MSF, British Red Cross, and HOT, and it's under the terms of the Missing Maps project. The aim is to map those areas of the world which you know that there is going to be some problem where the humanitarian organisations will need to go, and try and get it mapped before the problem actually happens. We tend to wait until there's a disaster, then look at it and say, actually we've got no maps there, could we have a map please? And then we all rush around trying to map it. And what we'd like to do is we'd like to say, well look, we've got this vast continent of Africa. We know that at some point there's going to be a cholera outbreak in that area. Let's map it first so that the aid organisations can say, ah yeah, we've got a town there, we've got an approximate population of this, these are the resources that we need, this is the route that we're going to go in. Not, well, we think there's a town over there, but we can't find a map. OpenStreetMap is a map of the entire world. Now, if you were to look at London, this area that we are now, you find it's very well mapped. It goes down to the buildings. There might be details about phone numbers, addresses. There's an awful lot of detail for London. If you look at other areas of the world, they're perhaps not so well mapped. But the OpenStreetMap project is to try and map the whole world. And the data is freely available, no copyright, so it can be used by all sorts of organisations. And when the original concept was, if the data was produced, then the software would follow it. Well, the software has started to evolve with the data now. Well, it was a long time ago, and it was quite early days in OpenStreetMap, and to be honest, it was a case of I was trying to relax after work, and to me, I enjoy sketching things, I enjoy drawing little maps, and I just started sketching a map within the OpenStreetMap as something interesting to do. But the more I got involved in it, the more I read, the more interest I found in it, and my knowledge of computing and all of the things to do with OpenStreetMap developed along with the map. So when I first started, there were very few roads actually mapped. I live in a town, and over 90% of the roads were missing when I first started. Now that town is extremely well mapped, every street, every building, every address. There's very little left for me or anybody else to map there. But I'm not sure that the need is there. I actually prefer to do a lot of my mapping for an area where there's a greater need. Some years ago, mappers within OpenStreetMap realised that in some disaster areas there were no maps available. And for instance, Haiti, when there was a tidal wave struck, some mappers started mapping the area, and within 2 days OpenStreetMap had got the best map of that area available anywhere. It became the de facto map to use. And because of that experience and the realisation that you got certain clashes between the software, various software tools evolved to make sure that if I'm mapping, what I map doesn't conflict with what the person is mapping next to me. And when I say mapping next to me, I might be sitting at my home in Kent, they might be sitting in a house in Germany, but we're mapping the same disaster area a few metres apart, and the software makes sure that we don't get clashes, there are no problems, and at the end of it, what we've done works, and it works for the people who need it. The likes of MSF and British Red Cross, they've got aid workers that are in these areas. At the moment, Ebola seems to be the main priority for them. So they've got aid workers there. through the HOT system, the data is available for download every night. So someone somewhere within MSF or Red Cross can download a map which they can put onto a Garmin, or they can download the information to put into an Android phone or whatever sort of phone it is that they've got, and then that can be used by the workers in the field. So what's being mapped this evening by people could be appearing and in use in a day's time in Africa or wherever it's needed.